so cool.
It really is. This is the best houseplant I know. It lives for decades.
Oh my
gosh. You water
gosh.
it once a month.
Oh my gosh.
And it doesn't need any special light requirements.
Well, it will ship April 28th, so kind of gauge that if you're looking as a housewarming gift, you know, whatever the case may be, just that's your expectations. It was just introduced the other day. It is an annual. One plant you're going to get in a 3.5-inch pot, but it could essentially grow into that over the years?
Well, so
all right.
Most of us, as a houseplant, we're going to keep them small.
Okay.
If you want a larger houseplant like what you see on the right, go for it. You just need to give it a bigger container. Out in the wild, in the deserts of Mexico, though, they do grow kind of large, but don't fear. They're not going to grow you out of house and home because you control the size of your plant by the size of your container.
Okay.
So again, you know, we show them outdoors because we like to show what they do look like out in the wild. But in your home, I mean, this is basically what you get. I love ones that are tall.
That's cool.
I like one that's kind of big in the corner, but I like a small one on my desk where I work. And so, you know, you can kind of play around with sizes, pick up more than one, keep one tiny by keeping it in a small container.
Okay.
Let one get kind of bigger, you know?
These are really fabulous. I mean, the trunk on it, the amount of leaves are amazing.
Yes. It's so true, and you know what? They add that sort of pop of color, that pop of life in your home. But when you pull back all its hair like this, and you see down at the trunk here, what's fun about this, aside from being known as a ponytail palm, it's also known as the elephant foot palm because it kind of looks like an elephant's foot.
Yeah.
Now, this thick trunk here is also full of water. And that's why you don't need to be there watering, you know, once a week like a lot of houseplants. We water once a month, and the reason for that is that these are natural desert dwellers. They don't want to be babied. They don't want to be over-tended to. They love being neglected. That's how they're meant to be grown. And so if you're traveling a lot, if you're going to give this maybe to a friend who's not very good with houseplants, maybe to your child who's just going to college, this is a great neglector's houseplant. I love it.
And it's really quite fabulous. I mean, imagine having this in, you know, on your kitchen island or in your office.
Yes.
And that's what you're going to start with already.
This is what you get. Now, we've grown these from seed. We've gone through all the boring long wait for a couple years for you. And so what you're getting, it almost looks like a radish growing out of the ground at first. But this ponytail palm here, I love this because while it looks like this now, as they grow, the trunk gets more and more defined, and they grow taller and thicker, and they grow more leaves. So what you have in front of you here, Pat.
How old is that one?
I like to say that, you know, you start off with this guy, and you end up with this after about a year.
Okay.
So you can see how well they grow. Now, as you continue the life cycle, another season or two, you're going to have something like what I've got in front of me here.
Nice.
And I love this shape. I love this size. They do look like a palm tree, but in fact, they're not actually related to palms at all. They're in their own genus and their own species, but they have the sort of look of a palm tree, and that's how they've garnered the name ponytail palm.
If I was going to, so let's talk needs. Does it need special like succulent soil or something, or just regular soil?
Regular potting mix. You could use, again, the black and gold organic potting mix that we have. I would say when you first get this home, do not put it in a large container. Keep it in a smaller container and graduate slowly. So I love this size container to start, and the reason why is that this size container is going to give it enough room to grow, but not so much room that when we water, we're going to try to soak all the soil and then water it.
And then it'll get soggy.
If you would immediately transfer it to something like this 2-gallon container, the tendency is we're going to water it till it's all wet, and that's too much for this plant that you're getting really this size. Now, when you do water and you have the appropriate container size, like for this plant, once a month, completely soaking it, fine. It's going to take it a week or so to drink all that, and then it doesn't need another drink of water for 3 weeks.
This is the neglect me plant, Jen. Jen was like, once a month? Yeah, once a month, because listen, you know, we know everybody's busy in this day and age, but you want some nice house plants. That's why this will work really well for you. And, you know, that's a couple of years old, obviously.
Yes, and I love this. They look a little wild. They look like,
that's kind of the fun of it.
Right? I know, they look a little wild, but also put together. And that's what I like about this. And so this foliage is really unique. I don't think there's a houseplant like it with this sort of strappy foliage. And you can
Do you fertilize it?
You know, I probably would every time I water, just a little bit, you know, once a month. You don't have to, though. They're used to rocky, dry, poor soil.
Okay.
I love this in all different kinds of containers. That's made out of, it looks like weave
or raffia
fabric
or something.
Yeah, exactly. So you can get creative with this. If you want one bigger over time, put it in a big, shallow container. And I love that trunk there, actually, both of these. They look almost like something from Dr. Seuss. It looks sort of out of this world, looks like something very unique, very special, very ancient and rugged. And that's something else I like about this too, that men really love these because they have this sort of rugged looking base. But I really found everyone loves this as a houseplant because it's so easy to take care of.
It's interesting. So you want to learn more about it, which I think is cool. Now, I know that you have the stones around the base. So if I just wanted to dress my soil on the top, I could put sand around here or little stones around here, decorative river stones. You could do sand,
you could do just nothing.
Okay.
But you know, look how elegant this actually looks. And look how long the foliage
really
is,
long.
right?
Yeah.
And so ponytail palm, I mean, I guess you could imagine putting a little hairband there and having a ponytail, kind of reminiscent of a ponytail. And so, but I love this because look how fresh and green that is, and I think there's something really soothing to having.
Could you imagine if you had to if you were going to buy it like this and send it to someone, how much that would cost you? So this,
true.
Right? This is an opportunity that you get it from little on, and they did all the hard work. So, you know, the little one that you're going to get, and this is very inexpensive size pot. So, you know, get it started and ignore it. Only pay attention to it like once a month, and before you know it, you're going to have something that needs to be repotted and a bigger, and then every year you could get it bigger and bigger and bigger.
It's really so fun.
Very cool. Very different from a lot of the things that you bring us. So we were able to bring 3,000 to you. We have 650 remaining. Okay. You know, we're getting down to that time of the season now where we're counting down things.
We are. Did he mention that one plant with